let's face it, there is just a different energy facing the New York Jets this year. Like, from top to bottom, like they're just, I have never seen the Jets this stacked. Like, yes, offensively, defensively, I'm actually very excited for the Jets. And I think, a lot of pressure is on Zach Wilson, and understandably so. But if everything goes according to plan, like I know that the biggest thing here talking about, the Jets is being a surprise playoff team. I think that the Jets can shock the NFL. I don't think that the playoffs are out of the realm of possibility in any way. I really don't think so, because you've got a team that it's one thing to have a team with so much talent. It's another thing to have a team with talent and a coach that I think is such a great defensive mind. And I think Robert Saleh doesn't get the credit that he deserves, because over these last couple of years, it's been rough, for the Jets and everything. But I really think that he really deserves a lot of credit in how he has turned this team around. Now, we can talk about defensively all you want, but offensively, a lot does rest on Zach Wilson, because if he doesn't get the job done with all these weapons, Breece Hall at running back, Michael Carter as a backup. Honestly, Breece Hall, he might be the steal of the draft, if you want to be honest with yourself. And then you look at Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and then Garrett Wilson at wide receivers as well. That's a really solid top three, all really young guys that are Corey Davis is getting up there, but he's still got a lot left in the tank. But other than that, you got C.J. Uzomah and Tyler Conklin at tight end. Man, and then your offensive line looks like it's figuring itself out now. I believe waiting a little bit on George Fant, but I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, you've got your offensive line figured out. You got your weapons. The question is, how is Zach Wilson going to play? And is it going to be good enough to hold off the likes of guys like Joe Flacco? If I'm being honest, I don't care if you spent the number 2 overall pick a couple years ago on this guy. If you want to be taken seriously, if you really want to take your team to the next level, you have to play whoever is playing the best at quarterback. Now, Zach Wilson, there's been up and downs throughout training camp, but there is pressure. I'll admit that for a third time. But if Joe Flacco is going to come in and play better in any capacity than Zach Wilson, you can't be afraid to start him. You owe it to the team, especially with what you have built defensively, because we already talked about offensively, but defensively, this has the potential to be possibly a top 10 unit this year if everything goes according to plan. And then offensively, you got all those weapons. This is the thing about the Jets. They're a young team. They got a ton of talent. So even if this year, they take a step forward, say they win 7-8 games, okay, at the very least, playoffs should be at the top of everyone's list next year. And I think, like I said, the Jets are one of those teams that, again, it's one thing to have all this talent on a team, but it's another thing when you've got these young guys that are all coming up together. You got 3 first-round draft picks this last year, wasn't it? Or it was 2, excuse me. I think it was, was it 3 last year? I can't remember. The point is, in the last couple of years, you have had a plethora of young talent coming in. You have had, you've added guys like Lincoln Tomlinson to come to your offensive line. You've added guys like Garrett Wilson to be that number 1 wide receiver right away. And honestly, Elijah Moore, the former second-round pick out of last year, I'm expecting big things from him. So just top to bottom, this is a young team that's got a ton of talent, that's got a great coach in place, that in my mind should be able to take that next step. And I think they could shock the NFL. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. I greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. Excuse me. But let us know what you guys think about the New York Jets, who could shock the NFL.